Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 333 News. I'm your news anchor, Wario, and in tonight's episode, we're going to be doing the usual. We're going to be going over some news and doing our 7-day forecast with Donkey Kong in the Meteorology Studio. Wait, actually, this is our 100th episode of 333 News, so forget what I just said. We're not going to be doing the usual. This is our 100th episode, and we need to celebrate this. So, before we actually get into all of the usual stuff, I kind of want to show you something. So, we put together this little commemorative video of 333 News because, well, this is our 100th episode, and, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and play that video because, well, I think it's worth celebrating our 100th episode of 333 News. So, without further ado, let's look at the screen, and here we go.
Welcome to our first edition of 333 News. This is now series has opened. Welcome back to 333 News. It's been a while since the last report, and I'd like to clarify a few changes that have been made around the news station. Today, we are giving you an update on Hurricane Jose, expected to impact 2 a.m. on Wednesday. Now, today I've got some important news to deliver about tomorrow night. Now, let's jump into what this is about. So on 333 News, we'd like to introduce our new 7-day forecast that we're going to be doing every week from now on. You can clearly see we have temporarily moved to a new location. Welcome back to 333 News. I know it's been quite a long time since our last 333 News episode, but now we can get back into 333 News. It's already Thursday, and there goes the clock saying it's now 3 p.m. And yes, you can probably hear in the background it is raining, so yeah, don't mind it. But today we're going to bring you some channel updates, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of 333 News. Now, on this week's episode, we do have a few major things to report. The major ones right now are Italy, France, and the US, which is why the three graphs are those countries. Put some useless radar images up here to the right while I explain. So, this is what it would look like yesterday as an estimate. Hello everyone, and welcome back to 333 News. Now, we have a major episode today because there's a lot going on that I want to discuss, and we're going to get started with what you might have already noticed. So, first things first, we're going to go through some massive channel updates and updates to 333 News. You probably noticed those already. This week's episode, we have something very concerning we have to report, and then we just have a bunch of other filler updates because we do not have... We're going to be discussing that in today's episode, and that is going to be Video Leak's newest update. Before and in the midst of landfall in New England, and once it moves out of the area, it will become an extratropical system and weaken, so it will start to deteriorate as it continues to move forwards beyond that area of snow. Because even though coastal areas will start with rain, they will switch over to snow as... yes, welcome to our brand new 333 News studio. Where the heck's my shadows? I'm so bad some storms. And it's gonna be like 77 degrees that day. On Tuesday, we're gonna have some storms. And it's gonna be 75 degrees that day. Thank you all for watching and tuning in to 333 News. Once again, I'm your news anchor Wario, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Wario out. Well, that was it. What'd you think? Pretty good video, eh? Anyways, I'm grateful for all of your support over the years of 333 News, evolving from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another. As we, started all the way back in 2016, and now it is 2023. And we went all the way from a corner of our living room with a Nintendo DSi setup to a full-on news studio with a TV screen. All the way from the beginning to the end, we thank you all for staying with us throughout the entire journey of 333 News all the way up until this point, and possibly long into the future as well. We're going to keep going with 333 News, and yeah, hopefully those of you who have stuck around the whole time, you've enjoyed all of the moments, the news, and of course all of the funny moments that happen too, you know, because those exist, and anything can happen in the news. From Frank reacting to the clock going to 3 p.m., from Donkey Kong
pointing out that there's storms and anything else that happened. We thank all of you for watching 333 News, and this special 100th episode goes out to all of you who support and love 333 News. Now, without further ado, let's go to the meteorology studio where Donkey Kong is going to have the 7-day forecast for us. Over to you, Donkey Kong. Hey, Ray, welcome to the meteorology studio. I'm Donkey Kong, the meteorologist, and today we're going to be doing some meteorology meteorology in the meteorology studio for our 100th episode of 333 News, because we're in the meteorology studio for the 100th episode of 333 News. So let's get started with your current conditions, and as you can see out there, it's pretty clear. There might be a few clouds here and there, but relatively clear out there. 67 degrees, not looking too bad. It's a nice night to have your window fans running and cool your house down. You know, open up the windows, let the cool air flow throughout your house. Pretty good for that. So that's the current conditions, and let's get into our 7-day forecast. I had to make it big this time. So, let's get started with the 7-day forecast. And on Monday, we're going to be looking at some rain, just a few showers here and there, 78 degrees, and the rain is honestly going to depend on where you live for the chance of the rain, you know. The chance differs based on where the heck you are. So, you know, in one spot, there may be a different chance and different timing of the rain than another spot. So, yeah, it all depends on where you are. Then on Tuesday, we're going to have some storms, and it's going to be 83 degrees. And I don't know why I keep doing that. So, yeah. Then on Wednesday, I move over here. It's going to be mostly sunny skies, 83 degrees. Not looking too bad. This is a decent week so far. Except for the storms on Tuesday, of course. But don't mind those. They're just storms. They'll pass by, like other storms did. Alright, now let me turn around here. On Thursday, we're going to be looking at some pretty partly cloudy skies, 85 degrees. So, yeah, definitely going to be a bunch of clouds out there on Thursday. Yeah. On Friday, we're also going to be looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 82 degrees. So, partly cloudy skies with slightly cooler conditions outside. Isn't that brilliant? Then on Saturday, we're going to be looking at some partly cloudy skies with 81 degrees. So, partly cloudy skies with even cooler conditions on Saturday. Just like the other 2 days, except a little bit cooler. Isn't that nice? What a great week. Oh, and of course, can't forget next Sunday. So, all the way over here, next Sunday, we're going to be looking at some partly cloudy skies, 82 degrees, just like the previous 3 days. Except the temperature is once again different. So, yeah. That's what we're going to be looking at for the week. So, hopefully you're looking forward to it. I think it's a pretty good week. There's going to be a lot of clouds all over the place towards the end of the week. And there's going to be some rain and storms at the beginning of the week. But overall, not a bad week. So that's going to do it for our, if I go back over here, 7-day forecast. And we're going to send it back to Wario at the news desk. Back to you, Wario. Thank you, Donkey Kong. So, yep, that's the forecast for the week. That's the weather for the week. Looks pretty good to me. I once again want to thank all of you who have been around since the beginning of 333 News, all of you who have been watching since the beginning, all of you that stuck around and offered support. We thank all of you. It's been quite the journey going from the beginning, where Frank was the news anchor, and all we had to work with was a space in our living room and a Nintendo DSi, where we just hand drew all the slides, to working with a full-on news studio with the screen, and I'm now the news anchor, and we even have a meteorologist working with us. And you just saw him. It was Donkey Kong. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around 333 News. I am so honored that this is our 100th episode, and we can continue to keep doing news into the future with this great setup that we've got going here. And, yeah, even with the setup, let's not forget our fun beginnings. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of 333 News. Thank you for watching our 100th episode. Thanks for tuning in all this time. And, I hope that we get to see you in the next episode, the 101th episode. Not as special, but, you know, it'll still be a next episode. Anyways, Wario out.